You are now listening to Couch Coach Live.
So we back here on another Couch Coach Live. Got Maui in the building. What's going on, man?
What's up, man? Another week, right?
Yo. And of course, I got Chip in the building. What's going on, Chip?
What up, fellas?
Good, man. Chip. Another week.
Right. Man, I'm so happy Chip back on this jump. You miss Chip, man.
Glad to be back.
Yeah, man. I had to get him in here for a couple of things that we got coming on the show. So let's get into this breaking news. Yeah.
Okay, I know you're about to do the breaking news. You know what I missed about you two? I missed the wizardry that you two used to have, and because y'all used to be so clean with y'all chess moves about what these organizations and these coaches are going to do. You know what I'm saying, to move forward. So I'm happy to have Chip here, man. I used to be like, man, look at this. Look at these two right here. They playing tango or some damn shit. They've been the best damn freezer tag game I have seen in my life. Boy, don't nobody ever need to play spades against y'all because y'all got the best hand signals I have ever seen. I'm good. I'm happy to see you two back together. Be like, ooh. All right, man. Go ahead. Breaking news.
Yeah. So let's talk about this. Gronk being traded to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So we all know that Gronk retired last season. So he was traded to the Tampa Bay for a 4th-round pick. In exchange, the Patriots get a 7th-round pick. Your thoughts on Gronk coming back? Your thoughts first, Maui.
Man, I was shocked, but makes you think about a lot of stuff that's going on up there in Boston or in Massachusetts. I'm sorry, you know what I mean. And then I watched it, and if he's happy, I'm sure Tom's happy, make him feel a little more comfortable. But then I also looked at his agent, and I said, I'm not even shocked. Then that whole scenario, Drew Rosenhaus, I'm like, man, he always got to do a spectacle about something, you know. But it's so easy, like. He retired, right? It's so funny that he could retire and then they could just trade him because he wanted to go to the Bucs. That's crazy to me. I'm just, you know how I am, man. That's just it's so easy for him to do that. But then when other players do it, you don't hear nothing. Like I ain't heard no negativity or how dishonored that is or anything for Gronk doing it. But let certain other players do that. I'm sorry, I hate doing that. You know I do. But I'm just being honest. It just made me feel funny. I like Gronk, though, and I like Tom Brady, so I'm happy they're back together. Hopefully they can have success and everything work out. But I still feel a little funny because I know there's other players that would want to control their situation and say, well, I want to go to this team. And, well, you can't go to that team. You know what I mean? But you have to go to this team over here or some crazy mess. But that's how I feel about that. Congrats to them, though.
Yes. Your thoughts, Chip?
I had similar sentiments because as soon as I saw it, I thought about Calvin Johnson. Because I feel like he was in a similar situation, and the Lions are hell-bent on not moving him out because I still think he's under contract now with the Lions. So it just goes to show you, like you said, how different organizations treat certain players across the league. And this made me kind of look at just organizations and like players in general because obviously this was planned. This was a part of him going to Tampa from jump, clearly. Just it happened so fast. I'm shocked, but I can't say that I'm too shocked because it's just the Patriots. Like they find a way to be the Patriots. And pull a move off like this. So, I mean, I think it's dope for them. They're going to be really good. I can't wait to see them. So,
yeah. My thoughts, man. O.J. Howard, man. You ever thought about coming down 95 and being part of this Redskin organization? You know? But in all seriousness, yeah, it is kind of strange when you think about like the whole Gronk trade and the Patriots. They can do stuff like this where it's like they're gonna flip that 4th round pick and probably have a bona fide starter at this point. So it's like they did what they did in their best interest because at the end of the day they weren't gonna get nothing out of that anyway. So just to think that they would, Gronk was just gonna sit and that contract would have just went away, and then for them to get a 4th round pick. That's what the Patriots do. They move assets. This is what they do. And I mean, just kudos to New England. They got a 4th round pick for a guy that who'd ever thought they would even get for a guy we didn't think he would be would even be back in the league. Because everybody kept on saying, well, Gronk, he's not coming back. But then part of me was like, I never believed that from the start. For some odd reason, I never believed it. So I was like, And then when you're hearing this happen today, I'm like, it makes sense because, of course, and it makes sense for the Patriots. The Patriots, they're classical doing this. They'll get rid of guys for draft picks. And then Bill Belichick, he's going to go out there. He's going to get a guy in the 4th round. You'd be like, watch. That dude's probably going to be, one of the huge cogs of that organization, possibly. Because Belichick does that.
Yeah.
Do you think it's messed up that Chris Carter lost his job? And Gronk replaced him in that situation?
And who?
Gronk replaced him in it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And to me, I never that's why a part of me was like, I hated the fact that he wasn't a part of Fox. It made sense to me. He would be perfect for that. And I was like, why they wouldn't have Chris Carter there? He's a Pro Bowl, not Pro Bowl, but a Hall of Famer. And he's good.
Man, because we know why. We deep down, we somewhat know why. You know what I mean? It's like it's starting to be like really in your face. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm gonna tell you, man. Like Gronk getting a lot of opportunities, and and isn't he openly weed cannabis smoker?
He endorses CBD oil, yeah.
So you know what I mean? But I know
great.
Chip, didn't they sign in the CBA? Didn't they sign something based upon cannabis and use or something like that? I don't know I can't remember what the CBA, but wasn't it something about they're able to use cannabis or CBD oil or something in the CBA?
Yeah, it can't be tested.
So right, you know what I mean? So I was, oh my goodness, I know this show. I feel like for me anyway, it's supposed to be the entertainment of, you have who you like, but it's really hard to do that when you're starting to see a lot of unfairness based upon the race. Like, okay, so you constantly, like, this seemed like with Gronk, like you said, Chris Carter could have been there, but they gave it to Gronk. Now Gronk coming back, you know what I mean? And you like, well, there's other players that want to do the same thing. And then they just dogged them. And the media just dog these players and say selfish and this and that. You know what I mean? And then you don't hear nothing. You just like, wow, they really starting to put a team together. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I don't know. I guess the opportunities always come to a certain person. I like Gronk, though. I like Gronk. I don't have a problem with Gronk. But like I said, I just starting to feel a little uncomfortable.
Yeah, and it's funny because we've always kind of talked about him in that realm because I used to hate how they killed Odell, but they never said nothing about Gronk and stuff he do. And I always used to say that all the time. I hated that. But let's not forget, Gronk never went through a hot tub. Well, but I mean, I'm talking about like the dancing and doing all that stuff. Like he would be twerking. Like, that's worse. We were to see him twerk or being in the hot tub.
Being in a hot tub of singing sexual healing with a dude.
That's a problem. That's problematic. But other things,
doing the splits in behind Drake's house. What was he doing when he was doing anyway?
Oh, he doing the cheerleading junks. Yeah.
Yeah, cheerleading.
But the crazy thing about all that is, but in all seriousness, it's like we kill a guy like Odell and these other young athletes because they're like, they having fun, they doing their thing. You think they're a distraction, but Gronk can be. I forgot what was the year remember the year they lost. One of the years they lost in the Super Bowl, and he over here like jumping on people like crazy. I forget. It might have been the Seattle game. I think they might have won. But one year, he was going off. He was dancing like crazy, jumping on people, slamming people. And I'm just like, let that be like Odell. Huh?
I said, yeah, it's called passion when he does it. But when Odell does it,
right. It's Gronk being Gronk. It's Gronk being Gronk. Yeah. That's what it is. And then back to that Chris Carter point just momentarily. Because you think about it, Chris Carter put in years at ESPN because he was a part of that. He was a part of NFL Primetime, and he was a part of the Monday Night Football team. I'm just like, how? And then even I don't know. I hate to say this too, because even I don't even think Tony Gonzalez was like. And that was one thing too. I was like, I got Tony Gonzalez in here. I got Gronk. Huh? But Chris Carter, he'll get his. That's a good thing about it. He good. Well, it just sucks that,
he done pissed somebody off, though. He done pissed somebody off, though.
Yeah.
Because he's well qualified. Chris Carter started being everywhere, man. I don't even see him no more. Where is he at?
I know he's doing something with the NFL. Last time I seen him was at the Combine.
Okay.
Other than that, that's the last time I seen him. And he was on the episode of Peyton Places, throwing a football on a 50-story building. Last time I seen him.
It's so weird. It's like he always was on the side. He always seemed like he was. Once he got a show where he was the main person, I don't know, man. It's so I'm so exhausted. Not really exhausted, but it's just not really exhausted. But I'm like, Dad. So y'all eat, slowly but surely. Sure as, you know what I'm saying, being open. Ever since they signed this CBA, you just starting to see certain little things happen. You know what I mean? Chip, I got a question for you. Gronk is great, right? But do you think Gronk is taking opportunities for some young players that might have wanted that opportunity?
I think he's taking advantage of a system that has been fair to him since he got in. You know what I mean? I think he's just using his leverage in terms of what he did in his career, and now since Tom is now in a position where he has more leverage, because in New England he didn't have that anymore. That's why he's not there. So now he's better positioned, and he has a coach in Bruce Arians that's like, hey, he trying to win something. He's not going to be coaching for much longer either. So they all are trying to kind of get everything done in a short amount of time, and they're like, why not take a chance, make a run?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, man. It's crazy. Gronk is back in the NFL. Crazy is crazy. So, guys, let's talk about probably arguably might be the number one big sports story besides the NFL draft, The Last Dance documentary. Of course, the first 2 episodes came on Sunday. Guys, your thoughts on The Last Dance documentary? I'm going to go with you first, Chip.
Yeah, go because I only saw the first episode.
Okay.
I'm kind of more so in a position of just soaking it all up. Because, like I said, I came in on the tail end of Jordan. The first time I ever really, saw Jordan was at a Wizards game. So Bulls Jordan, I was young. You know what I mean? So I didn't really see it. Only YouTube highlights and stuff. But I just respect the greatness on the court. I didn't really get into the Michael off the court. I just don't know much about him. But yeah, for me, it's just dope to see, like, just hearing 63 points and no three-pointers. Just stuff like that.
Damn. That's crazy.
Kind of wild.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Mal, okay. Yeah. All right. Mal, your thoughts?
It was great, man. It took me to my childhood, and I love documentaries, so we can really get to the rooter, to the tutor. I've been waiting for this for a long time. It's supposed to come on, years ago. But, I just like to really see the truth as much as they can give. And like I said, I'm pro player. And if I ever had something like it kind of like, because I always feel like we make these comments, we watch these shows, and like they just forget about the past. You know what I mean? First of all, let's just look at the NBA. It was a business. So even when Jordan came in, they needed to expand. They only put everything towards 2 teams. You know what I mean? So even when he came in, to me, he had a chip on his shoulder where he was trying to prove himself. And then he's looking around, and he like, this is basically a league that is just on drugs, you know what I mean, and not really trying to play the sport. You know what I mean? Like, not really trying to win. And then it shows you how the player wants to win, and then the organization is like, no, you are a product. We need, because he hurt his foot, you know what I mean? I made sure I watched it for you, Chris, so we can really have these conversations. You know what I'm saying? So he hurt his foot, and he was like, no, you are future. You can't play, but he wants to play. So as a GM, you got to put a team so he could trust and he can heal. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like it proves my point about how GMs need to be accountable just as much as players need to. You know what I mean? And organizations. They need to do better for us as fans. Try to put the best team out there. Try to put the best system out there. Because there's no way in hell. Like, I hate the fact that that team was that great, and then there's no team that was able to build up to have a chance to at least beat them once. You know what I mean? Or even got close to it. It could have been L.A. It could have been the Lakers, but what happened? The next year, Magic had HIV. You know what I mean? The year that they won, everybody was hurt, damn near. And we never was able to get that. You understand what I'm saying? But that's what I got from it. You know, like, I've been waiting for this because, like I said, they didn't pay everybody what they deserved. You know what I mean? And then eventually everybody had to make a decision. You want to stay here and try to win a championship, or do you want to go? You know what I mean? Or you going to go, or are they going to make you to go? Or, you know what I'm saying? It's like, hey, you got to get your bread, or you want to sit here and then keep taking less because we win in championships. Everybody, you got to start. You got to value yourself. You know what I mean? And you got to take that chance to value yourself, or you're going to lose that chance and you mess around and, damn, I could have made more money, but I didn't, you know. But that's what I took from him so far. And then it shows the importance of Scottie Pippen, and it shows the importance of Phil Jackson also. But, yeah that's it.
Yeah, it was, like, to me, it was nostalgic. It's like almost kind of reliving I almost felt like I was 13 years old again. I mean, it was fun. I mean, it was, and it's crazy to think, like you're saying, almost kind of piggyback to what you were saying of how, and this still is going on to this day, of how these GMs have these power. And it's like, it trips me out, and it's crazy because you think about it. You going to sign Phil Jackson to a 1-year deal. This man has won 5 championships. Pretty much sign him to a 1-year deal and say, hey, I don't care if you go 82-0 and you win another championship. This is your final year. Like, could you imagine in 2020 telling a coach, that's like saying, like, Nick Saban, I'm only signing you for 1 year, and that's it. Or Dabo Sweeney, that's it. To me, that just sounds really crazy. And, like, for them, they got robbed of that opportunity where, like Jordan said after the 5th championship, we're supposed to, like, lose. before we rebuild. Just like you look at now, like Golden State. They're in a somewhat rebuilding. They had to, after they lost to Toronto. Cleveland was the same way. After they lost, they had broken apart. And that's what you're supposed to do. Because to me, you think, it's like how long, and that's one thing too where you think, how long this dynasty could have lasted. Like, because you think about it, and I don't know, not to have a crystal ball, but you think about the next year, a lockout, they only played 50 games. So it's like, could have came back after the lockout and won a 7th championship? So that's one of the things, too. I like the whole thing of how San Antonio.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
And another thing, too, where you really kind of, see the perseverance in these guys. Well, I think a lot of people, they love sausage, but they don't like how it's made. This kind of showed you in a sense, like these guys weren't overnight. These guys' success wasn't overnight. You look at like Jordan. Jordan was a guy, of course, like you said earlier, chip on the shoulder. He goes to North Carolina. He's around star-studded guys, Sam Perkins, James Worthy. You had guys like that. He had to prove his worth. Then he hits that shot, and he said that's when he really gained the confidence, where he became, Michael Jordan, not Mike Jordan. So you look at that and then how it transferred over, and then the transition from, like you saying, the traveling cocaine circus was a part of that team, and he like, look, I don't want no parts of it. And I think that's one thing where you look at the strong family values that his family possessed with him. And of course he got within the trappings later on, but thinking about it as a 22-year-old kid, not falling into those type of trappings, because that's the easy thing to do. You got money, you're this this big superstar, and like you said, he had a chip on his shoulder from day one, and it carried over. Guy like Scottie Pippen, and it's sad because, and I think it'll kind of loop back around when we talk about Jalen Green and Isaiah Todd, where I think when he signed that deal, he was looking out for his family, but in the same token, because a lot of stuff was going on in his family. Because you think about his father had a stroke to a point where he was, he pretty much, wasn't able to talk, and he wouldn't be able to. He was wheelchair bound, and then he had a brother that got in a freak wrestling, in an injury in wrestling, and he was paralyzed. So he had to really kind of carry the burden of his family, and not to say that's as an excuse, but when you think about it, you're like, okay, you just see that in the moment, you're gonna take a long-term deal like that versus now, where I hate when people kill LeBron, and I hate saying this. But I hate when they kill him. Well, why he only do these 2-year deals and he for 3 or 4 year deals and then he opt out after the third? He knows his worth.
Chicago Bulls.
Right,
and because what happened to Chicago Bulls. That's why I call him the evolution of the NBA player. Because to see Michael Jordan's face and them asking that question, and this is Michael Air Jordan, and literally doesn't have the power to say, yo, you're not breaking up this team, like what this effing team, you know what I'm saying? Like he doesn't even have. This is Michael Jordan, like at the prime, like you know what I'm saying? And he can't say you tripping. Phil ain't going nowhere. I'm sorry. If this be off, I hate that.
And I'm gonna kind of put a bow on this one for it. And one thing I'm so glad, that Jerry Krause is. I'm like to a point where I do not want to respect the dead. I am so glad I can't say what I want to say about it because I respect the dead.
Yeah. Right.
But when you sit, and that's one thing where, like, that's one thing I hated about that organization once they left, of how bad we were. And then you look at the guys who could have came there, and a lot of their reason to not come to Chicago was, well, damn, if you treat Jordan like this, how you going to treat me? Like I remember Kevin Garnett. Right. Before he got this money, he was kind of flirting with Chicago, here and there. Tracy McGrady, my goodness, he was pretty much in our laps. And then you see this thing happen, and you're like, are you kidding me? Like, we could have got him in 2000, And then a lot of those guys were looking at it like, well, you treated the guy who got a statue outside of this building, you treated him like crap. How you gonna treat me? So that's one thing where you look at it and it's just like, Jerry Krause still, God rest his soul, but it's a lot of stuff that if he looks back, and a lot of us would look back and just, man, he just, his ego got in the way. That's all I can say respectfully. But yeah, man, he got in his own way.
I'll say something real quick.
Yeah.
One thing I'm gonna say, when you watch this, and no disrespect to Chicago Bulls organization, but you got to be a winning organization. You got to understand what it means to win. You know what I mean? And I don't think the organization really understood. Michael Jordan did, because he came in there wanting to win, and he tried to elevate everybody there, not just the players, but also the fans and also the organization. And I don't think they wasn't even on his level, man. You know what I mean? Because if they were, they would have did everything they needed to do to constantly keep it going. Prime example, look at Boston and Los Angeles. That's won all these championships. Boston losing like shit since the 80s. What'd they do? They figured out a deal to get 3 players to put them together, right? You understand what I'm saying? Like, they go figure out a way to win, And like I said, no disrespect to the Bulls. I know who the Bulls are. We being honest. And it's the same. I told you the same thing about Cleveland team. They don't know how to win. You know what I mean? Remember when Bron came back? He said, "I have an idea of how to win," and he got him to the finals and won a championship for him. You understand what I'm saying? But sometimes you could be able to do it, but your organization's got to be able to know how to do it too.
And I think
that's why the same teams win championships.
Yeah. And I think it's more on the end. I think it's more of Krause's ego, because to me, he did to his credit, he did a good job putting this team together.
Right.
But what happens is once he enjoyed the fruits of his labor, he got to himself and think like, hell, I built these guys. I should be the one that's getting the credit. Like he's the one who So in his sense, that's what happened with him, and then that became the cascading effect of this team going into the 2000s and up until when he left. I think in 03 or 04 or whatever. But it's just like, yeah, and that's what happened, and even like Jerry Reinsdorf, and he was just like, well, yeah, I he's like, yeah, I built Phil, and I'm just like, what? Like, huh? Like, granted, I mean, there's some truth to it, but at the end of the day, you can say that about anything. Just because you help somebody or you gave them an opportunity, and that's one thing too, where just Jerry Krause is just and Reinsdorf, they were just two guys who, even Reinsdorf, he, to his credit, he's still around. He's still the owner of the team. And it's almost like a dark cloud on this organization. So.
Right. Hey, Chip, I got a question. Do you feel? See what we talking about? Do you feel the Patriots is about to go through the same thing? Because Krause reminds me a lot of Belichick.
I feel like it's kind of tricky with them because they still have enough talent defensively to kind of get them through a lot of games.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, they also got to score points. So it just kind of depends on how the chips fall. Football so iffy, like with injuries, you never know.
Right. Do you think that if they start losing and they don't look good, that they might try to take that title away from Belichick for being like the GM? Or they say you need to choose either GM or you need to coach?
GM or out the door. Like, they probably might fire.
Oh, word.
It's gonna be a while before they do that.
I think if they start losing, they'll let him go.
Like within a year or two, 2 years tops.
Yeah,
we have back-to-back losing seasons.
But it's
funny that you make that parallel because you think about it. But a part of me is and a part of me don't, because like you look at it like you never really put weapons around Tom Brady. It was almost like he was like, because you think about it, because even people keep talking about, well, Brady had a down year. Name his receivers. Like, I dare you. Like, you don't put nobody around him, and then it's almost like in a sense you take advantage of that. And it's one of the things where they just got to get better. And then they lost a lot of guys on defense too, which was kind of interesting because Van Noy's gone, with Jamie Collins. Who else is gone? Because somebody went to Miami. Van Noy went to Miami, and like 3 guys went to Detroit. He was one of their safeties. He went to Detroit. Somebody, but anyway. But yeah, it kind of speaks to that where it's like it's the arrogance, because you think about it, you putting that team around them, and you're like, what the world? Like, that's just ridiculous.
But I think they have to build their team a different way. You know, like now that they don't have that quarterback that's taking the pay cut so we can get really good corners and, really good pass rushers. Now we got to go, okay, now we got to invest in the quarterback, and it might be skim other places now. It's going to be interesting to see how they draft, well, how he drafts.
Yeah, and I think they will, after, everything is said and done with. But, yeah, that documentary, man, it's going to be interesting. I like how they kind of, it's, how they putting you, the beginning of the season and kind of taking, like, retrospective and going back and forth. So it's one of the things that keeps it really interesting. But, yeah, man, it's going to be an interesting documentary, going forward the next 8 episodes. But, yeah, man. So, you back, Maui?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, cool. We lost you for a second. But, yeah, man.
For a second, but I'm back.
But to go over to that, so let's talk a little bit some prep sports, and I think some of the things is going to be very, very interesting going forward. So Jalen Green and Isaiah Todd will be bypassing college and going to the G-League. So Jalen Green is the number 1 prospect in the class of 2020, and Isaiah Todd, formerly of John Marshall, former John Marshall standout, who was the number 13th prospect in 2020. Both will enter the G-League. So it looks like from how everything's going to pan out, so Jalen Green looks like he's going to be projected to receive a $500,000 contract for that 1 year, and Isaiah Todd is expected to make nearly around $200,000. And even in that deal, they have the ability. They do get a scholarship, and then also they're going to be a part of some other G-League programs where they have like life skills. They'll be doing community activities, stuff of that nature. Your guys' thoughts on the guys bypassing? I'm going to go with you first, Maui.
Man, I think it's genius, Like, to me, like, professional sports is supposed to try to have the best players that you can. And sometimes these, these young men, they go to these young people, they get to go to these colleges and they get hurt, they get into things, and you never get to see the best competitive sports. But school ain't for everybody. You know what I mean? It's not, and it's just I just love more options. You know what I mean? And I know Chip can understand this too, where, if they at that level, man, it's so much sacrifice that they had to do based upon like in high school and in middle school, and the training and the personal trainers and all this money and stress your parents got to do. Your parents be working, they got to figure out a way to get you here, to get you there, and then they have to also be able to make the sacrifices because you actually can make a career out of your dream, and for the NBA to do this G League thing, I just love it. I just know college ain't for everybody, man. And like I said, I'm getting to the point now where, I'm starting to value people and value things around me, and especially value myself. And to be able to make $200,000 and $500,000, bro, to be able to do your dream professionally, it's great to me. It's great. It's better than you not applying yourself for your dream and then you working at Coke or something. No disrespect to people that do that, but trust me, you know what I mean? A lot of people not being able to live their dream, and they just take those jobs and they're like, man, you know what I mean? So I think it's just wonderful. And then hearing what you're saying about the scholarship and the home training, and I think that's going to be great for the league,
Yeah.
So I think
Chip.
It's wonderful.
Yeah, Chip, your thoughts?
When I first saw this, I thought about, I think this is slowly opening the door for college athletes getting paid, and not only them, high school athletes getting paid off their likeness, because we're seeing more and more high school games televised now, right? Like, there's being 60 million people on a Tuesday, in their small gyms. So I just think it's just opened the door for a lot of other things. I think it's dope for them. Hey, if you feel like you can compete, hey, go do you. If you feel like you need that money, go do you. Like, I think it's super dope for them. And hey, I think they can compete. Personally, I haven't seen much of the other kids, Jalen Green, but as far as Todd, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, boy, beast. Yeah. So I love it, and it's funny that I thought about this like five. I said I'm gonna do this weekend. I'm really going. I do recall me saying stuff like this. Like, I remember saying the G-League should do something of this, where you should get guys coming out of high school, which I'm gonna find that this weekend. I am so determined. I'm hell bent on finding this weekend. But anyway, I love the idea, and this is one of the things where these guys are like, they're in that perfect realm, and then it makes sense because you're looking at guys like you look at the previous class, R.J. Hampton and LaMelo Ball. They're overseas, and they're going to be projected like lottery picks coming up this year. And I think this is a good thing for guys where you think about it. If you're an 17, 18-year-old kid, there's a prospect of thinking like, oh well, the only way I can make money playing basketball is going overseas, which some will like that route and some don't, because it's just like it is what it is. I mean, can you expect a 17, 18-year-old kid to kind of go overseas in that type of manner? So that's one thing. That's the one thing I also looked at, and then I looked at from the standpoint of this is perfect for these guys, because at the end of the day, this is going to help them become better players in the league. Because I hate. Because college, I think, in my personal opinion, the college game and just everything in itself, the trappings of college basketball does not help these guys transition to the next level. I mean, you're only playing, 2 times a week. You're playing one day in the middle of the week, and then you're playing on a Saturday. Like, versus being in the G League, you're playing 3 or 4 nights. That's how it's almost replicating of what you would do in a regular, in the NBA regular season. And then that kind of money, where, and it's crazy because we always, when guys like one and dones, we're like, well, good, you go and take that money, even though you may not be 100% ready, but at least you're gonna get your money. And I'm not trying to say like $20 million compared to $500,000, but if you're in that situation, because there's a lot of guys we know that went pro that shouldn't have went pro. Just, as far as because they just weren't ready. And even though the money's there and all, but you want to be in a position that makes you to get you more money. It's about the second contract. It's not the first contract. And if you can get your second, and that's one thing too, where these guys have enough money where it isn't like they'll still be able to provide for their families. They'll still be able to provide for their families, and you don't have to really worry about, like you're looking at a guy like, and I really kind of go back to the Fab Five documentary, where it was saying, like Jalen Rose was saying, I mean, I'm in Chicago, and they selling my Huaraches, and I can't even buy them. Like, I wear these on my feet.
Wow.
Like, I can't even buy my own jersey, and these people making money off of me. And that's one thing too, like you said, going back to your point, Chip, where there will be a day when these guys are going to get paid, and I think it's going to be more so on their likeness, because I think the NCAA they're still going to be archaic, and it's like, even though all these guys, aren't going to be able to jump ship and go to the G League, but it's only going to be a select few, which the cream of the crop always rises at the top, and those guys gotta, this is a great opportunity for these guys. Like, and you don't have to really worry about going overseas. That's another big thing too. Like,
when go overseas, you got to have a passport. What if these guys have a felony? Can't get a passport.
True.
You know what I mean? So you can't go over there. Then I think with the summer league doing so well the last few years, I think that it also helped us to watch the G League a little bit more. And then I think when Zion slipped, I think that might have been like, oh hell, you know what I'm saying? Because you remember that game and how it sold out and how much the tickets was. I think, like again, that's like the documentary said. The guy said, I'll let you play 7 minutes. What did he say? 7 minutes a quarter.
7 minutes.
Michael
a half.
Jordan that because he said
a half.
7 minutes a half. Lord, I didn't know it was a half.
Yes.
So think about it. You got to understand that you are a product. You know what I mean? In the NBA, you are a product. So you want to, and you might be the future of somebody's team or organization or whatever. So I believe that because that could have been it. All that stuff they might have had invested in Zion, that one slip. You know what I mean? Truthfully, since that slip, it's been some issues ever since then. Well, till now, to the end of the season, and they had a lot invested in him. So I think they better off like, hey, man, we'd rather have y'all can get them here. Let's get them here. We can protect them. You know what I mean? And keep them situated. They get used to how the league is, and you never know. You might have an opportunity to get called up. You know what I mean? That's one thing you got to understand. You might have an opportunity to get called up just like that. Is that guy that plays? Is that teacher still playing for the G League team? The one that's from your high school?
Andre Ingram? I think so, because I know he got called up. Okay. Was it this year or the previous year? He got called up again. It was last year. Yeah, he got called up last year. I think he's still in the G League. And the crazy thing about it all too, to kind of circle it back around, and when you look at it just from the standpoint of just, and they're going to get NBA coaching, because I just realized that what they're going to do with those teams, they're going to be called a select team. So basically, it's going to be the best of the best guys, prospects of that graduating class, couple sprinkled in with a few other G League players, and I think their coaching candidates. I know they have like David Fisdale, Sam Mitchell, which I think was Jalen Green's AAU coach. Yeah. So I'm thinking like you're going to be able to get like high quality like professional coaching like this, and no disrespect to like Coach K, Bill Self, and those guys. They're great coaches in their own right. But you're going to the NBA. They can prepare you, no doubt. They can prepare you. Right. But these guys been in the war. They've been in the fight. They've been there. Right. So it's you're able to get that. Coach was a
G League coach. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it's straight up. It ain't like it was years ago. It's straight up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and he got body slammed by Uncle Vince. Boy, that's here nor there. But it's one of the things where it's just like you look at that and you're like, and it's a perfect opportunity for these guys. They're able to travel the way that you would normally would. Because you think about it, and that's another thing too I forgot to bring up. Unless you like those top tier teams, which those guys probably would have been on, but the type of travel that you do, and it's you're not going to be on first class planes and this, that, and the third, first class and all this type of stuff. So it's one of the things where it's like they're gonna they'll be able to have their NBA schedule. So I mean it's a perfect opportunity. and I hope a lot of guys take advantage of it. And I don't think it's really going to hurt the college game per se, because you're still going to get guys. Guys are still going to go to college. You're just not going to get those blue chip guys, essentially. You're not going to get 5-stars probably within the foreseeable future. And who knows? The way things are going now with this pandemic, will colleges survive at this point? I mean, as far as we already know, like the other secondary sports, where it's just like this could be your ticket.
Right. They might have to. You're right. I was thinking that too.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. My bad.
I was thinking that. Yeah, my bad. Go ahead, B.
Are you good? Go on. Yeah, you got you.
You talking about me or Chip?
Yeah, I thought because I know you wanted to say something about colleges.
No, I said I was thinking the same thing. Like, you know what I mean? Because like sometimes it feels like, you know, this is my life. So sometimes I'll be like, man, you know, my life is still moving the way it was moving. You know what I'm saying? But then, you know, I drive around in the daytime and I'm really looking at stuff and I'm like, yo, this ain't good. It's weird when you drive around like, okay, like you drive around Petersburg and remember how you see all this stuff closed and stuff like that? You know what I mean? You're like, dang, why don't they rebuild this or put some stores over here? And it's like, if there is stores in all these areas and it's closed down, so I'm like, dang, you got colleges closes and we making these decisions about sports stuff in the future, but we really don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We really don't know. Like, you know, is China doing any sports events yet?
I know that the basketball league was going to start, and I think they had a hiccup.
And they stopped.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I mean? So we having this discussion and we don't know, and it's like and I notice a lot of people are trying to use a lot of loopholes right now. Like I say with the NBA, with the G-Leauge, what they just did with these two gentlemen, it's like, hey, there's an opening, so let's go ahead and take advantage of it now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? We don't know at all how if college, if it's gonna be the way it was. We don't know.
Yeah, because I think Cincinnati? I think their soccer team is like canned, and I think was it you, Chip? Did you post an article about HBCUs? Was that you? That posted it was an article saying how, you know, like as far as the funding.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough, man. A lot of these programs are gonna be cut, and I think it's like kind of how Sean was saying, it's gonna be a little premature.
Yeah.
Scary, man. Scary.
Yeah, because especially, you know, and I think really going to be the biggest tide is college football. I think if college football doesn't come back in like D1, I mean, you can forget every sport known to man. They pretty much, football carries most universities, which is crazy because all that money trickles down to that. Because you think to yourself, well, why y'all adding the extra home game? Why y'all adding another home game? Because they got to pay for the field hockey team. They got to pay for the badminton team.
Right.
Cross country.
Right.
Those teams. And then just imagine if they don't get that revenue.
I remember in Hopewell, they had a meeting, and Hopewell was doing well. You know what I mean? The baseball team was always winning, right? And I remember they was asking for people to fund a little bit more for the team. You know what I mean? And people didn't want to do it. So then, because they would talk about closing all arts and athletics, they said they didn't have enough money. So the people was like, man, we're not paying no more. Crazy. And then, so if something happened where then after that, that's when Hopewell really start winning stuff. You know what I'm saying? They really, really start winning stuff, getting to the Siegel Center, stomping Petersburg, because that was always their biggest thing, was beating Petersburg. You know what I mean? And then they took all the money that they were getting and put into the Beacon Theater, and, you know, that really, you know what I'm saying? But, yeah, man, it's that's the piggyback what you're saying. We really don't know. Again, though, I think what's really going to happen, I think we're going to eventually get into it once we get into the next phase dealing with the draft. Less is more, and they're going to have to cut back. See, and I think a lot of these people, a lot of things that was going on with these corporations, they was getting too big-headed trying to do more. And a lot of people was like, hey, man, and it was all based upon money, right? They wanted longer seasons. They wanted more of this. And it's all based upon TV deals and getting extra money. Am I right? Weren't we just talking about this? Now look what's going to happen. Everything's shut down because it's like y'all want too much. Like, you overdoing it. You know what I mean? And it's like, and that, it ties into some music stuff that happened over the weekend. You're doing too much. Less is more. Why you got to go over the top? You know what I mean? And I think it's going to probably, if it does open up, it's probably going to have to be something like that. It's not going to be normal. It's going to have to take its time, take baby steps until we can get back to that point.
Yeah. Yeah, most definitely. Definitely huge shout out to Jalen Green and Isaiah Todd doing their thing.
Congrats, man.
So let's get into the NFL draft, fellas. Man, so looking forward to it. I'm just so looking forward to this draft. Like, this is probably... Huh?
It's Thursday, right?
Yeah. Yes, Thursday, 8 o'clock. We'll be on the clock around about 8:15, 8:16-ish. Looking forward to it.
Right.
Man. Yeah, man.
Why are you so excited, Chris? What you so excited about?
We're on the, as a Washington Redskin fan, we are on the verge of getting a generational talent that is Chase Young. I'm just excited. This makes up for being 3-13. Getting him doesn't cure a losing season, but it makes you realize, you know what, we sucked for a reason, so we can get Chase Young.
Can I ask Chip a question?
Yeah.
Chip, how do you feel about Dak, man? I forgot you was a Cowboy.
I feel like if we're so hell-bent on not changing how we feel about the contract situation, we might as well trade him.
Right. We talked about that. Do you think do you think that's because of Mike McCarthy? That's why they treat him that way?
I don't think so. I just think it's a money thing. Like, we're not trying to spend that type of money, because I don't think we're short. Which I don't know why. I feel like you should just pay him, right? Like, it is what it is. Like,
do you think they should get Cam?
I would enjoy that. I would enjoy that for real. I personally think we should trade him to Miami. Get one of those picks, because they got 3 in the first round. Hey, give us one of those.
What? Man, no. Roger Goodell need a veto. There ain't no way in God's green earth they give y'all a first round pick for Dak Prescott. I quit. Hey, no, if y'all get a first round pick, I'm tell you, I swear, Stephen Jones will be the greatest. You know what? Put him in Canton. If he can get a first round pick, if y'all get a first round pick for Dak Prescott, he going to Canton.
But can I get you to think about it though? If you're Miami, why would you not trade one of the? Because they got number 5, 18, and 20 something. I think 23. So if you're Miami, why not trade 18 to Dallas for Dak, or 23 to Dallas for number 17. You'll have pick 17 and 18, and then you pay the quarterback. You already got the pretty good defense through free agency. You got a bunch of picks in the draft.
I mean, still, I just wouldn't. I wouldn't, because at this point, I'm gonna be 100% real with you. I would take Tua with a broken hip at this point.
Are you talking about for the Reds game?
No, I'm playing with your Chip.
He's bugging.
But all seriousness.
I was like,
really?
But in all seriousness, I mean, but to get a first-round pick, like, y'all might get a second or a third. I mean, I don't know. To me, I'm like,
Look at it from a money standpoint. Look at it from a money standpoint, because you paying right now. The cap has went up for his franchise tag, so it went from like 20-something million to like 34, I think, something like that. So he's valued as high as a first or second round draft pick in terms of salary.
Yeah, production.
You have to pay that to a first round pick too.
Okay.
How do we know how?
This makes me laugh, B.
This gonna be funny. DeAndre Hopkins didn't even command a first round pick.
That's the 4 GM.
Well, yeah, I mean, of course, that's Bill O'Brien. But I would not, if I'm Miami, I wouldn't, because at the end of the day, I would, if I'm them, I would take a quarterback in this draft. You see what happens with that. You still got what's his face? Ryan Fitzpatrick. You still got him, and you still got that reclamation project that is Josh Rosen. I wouldn't trade a valuable asset like that to 23rd. I mean, but the thing, like you said, but if you do get that 17, 18, that is intriguing, because you can, in other words, you're swapping picks and you're getting a quarterback.
Because you can still draft one right there. You know what I mean? At 17, 18, you can go Jordan Love, and in your quarterback room, you'll have Dak Prescott, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Josh Rosen, and Jordan Love. One of them guys are getting traded again, so that's another draft asset right there.
Yeah, two of them probably.
Yeah, I don't think who's starting it. I don't think it should be Fitzpatrick. So I kind of that's interesting.
This is
I think Dak Prescott all options.
I ain't saying nothing because he almost beat us. So I ain't saying nothing. I mean, he all right.
He cracks me up, B.
Yeah.
He cracks me up when he comes to these Redskins. Oh, my God. Oh, I said nothing. They almost beat us. The beard. Man, that's a good. That's
quarterback situation.
Which and I, you know what? And the crazy thing about it is, that's why part of me is like, I think they should just get Tua, let him sit for a year, because I still think Ryan Fitzpatrick got another year, because they're not. I mean, they're not going to be a playoff team next year. I mean, that's just a fact. So let him sit for that year, and then Tua should be your next one. But I'll divulge into where I think he's really gonna go. But I think that should be the plan. But I'm telling you, and we'll talk about this a little bit later in the preview. But I think Miami is holding the cards, and it's like they about to play with some teams' minds. And I got one team in particular, but we'll talk about that a little later. But yeah, man. I mean, I just can't see them getting the first round pick. Just kind of in all seriousness,
damn, you don't think Dak's that good?
I mean, no, it ain't about that.
Like that.
It ain't. I'm not thinking about it. I'm just talking about league wise. You're not gonna get a first round pick for no Dak Prescott. If Stephen Jones, I swear, I'm gonna say this one more time. If Stephen Jones can pull up and get a first round pick for Dak Prescott, I'm literally gonna get him a yellow jacket, and I'm gonna drive him from Irving, Texas, to Canton, Ohio, and force them to put him in the Hall of Fame. I will drive him from. I will drive Stephen Jones.
Osweiler got traded for?
What, like a 4th-round pick, right?
No,
oh my God!
2nd-round pick.
They gave up premium picks for Brock Osweiler. Dak Prescott that closest to Brock Osweiler.
When we talk about horse mouth, though. Come on now. We talk about John Elway.
If they make that trade, he said he will quit. Oh my God! I'm gonna tell you this. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Stephen Jones.
Yeah,
I would literally fly to Dallas. I would get a rental car. I'll pick him at the Ford Center. I will take him straight to Canton. Get him a gold jacket on spot. We go anywhere. J.C. Penn somewhere. I'm gonna get him a gold.
I'm gonna tell you something, Chip. This is messing up y'all chemistry. You know that, right? Because they done paid Zeke. And now you playing with Dak. They fucking up the chemistry, man. Excuse my language, but they are. You can't. Y'all ready for a championship, ain't you, Chip?
Cam Newton can come do the same thing. Jalen Hurts can come do the same thing.
if Cam come there, that'll mean okay, cool. They got Cam, and Cam got something to prove. But so we gonna play for how long? And you're not going to pay me the money? You're not going to pay me, or we're not going to sit here and have a very good, negotiation that makes sense so we can win on both sides. Even if I am asking this, you're supposed to ask high. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to ask that. But
exactly.
That's what I'm saying. That shit's supposed to be taken care of, man. You know what I'm saying? Right now, they should be blending together to try to win a championship, or at least get deep in the playoffs.
If you're Dak, demand a trade. If I'm Dak, demand a trade.
Hey, but hey, it is what it is. But,
okay, one more question. Dak, would you rather play Dak, or would you rather want to play Dak or Tony Romo?
I feel more comfortable paying Dak Prescott.
No shit said. No, for real? Wow. And this coming from Chip. And I'm going to take what Chip say. Wow.
What?
And that,
how many games has Dak Prescott missed? Not one.
Wow.
Not one. If it's one thing that we can count on, he's going to be on the field. He's going to throw more touchdowns than he will interceptions.
That's a good argument.
Hey.
That's a damn sure good argument. Damn, that's a good argument. That's a good argument right there.
Hey, put him on the field.
And you would want to pay somebody. You would want to pay somebody for that off top. Hey, I know what he's going to give me. I could build upon that because he's going to come here to play. Damn, that's crazy.
He needed young weapons. Give him an offensive line and a defense. He has that in Dallas, but we don't want to pay him.
Yeah, man. It's your boy. But, yeah, man, let's get into the NFL draft preview, man. So, well, unprecedented times, man. We have a virtual draft.
Man.
Y'all thoughts on that?
I think it's going to be a glitch early.
Oh.
Did
you hear about the glitch? You heard the glitch about it yesterday, right? Did you hear about that yesterday? Cincinnati had the glitch. They had the first pick and had a glitch that lasted like 20 minutes.
Wow.
I was like, boy, oh boy.
Again, less is more. So what I did was I looked at this article and I wrote some stuff down. The dude said that it's almost going to be like Back to the Future. He said like back in '69 he was in a hotel and he was in a little conference room and he said that every team, he had like not a chalkboard but like a marker. He had a big sheet and a marker and he would write down everything. And then whoever was up, they said their essential tools was quarters. And if a team needed certain things, they would go out and take the quarters, they go out and they'd call the person. You know what I mean? I just think that, hey, man, it ain't going to be perfect, but it's just got to be patient and got to be baby steps. And it's going back to where, like almost like dial-up. You know what I mean? When we first had the internet, you just gotta be patient. At least they doing it. You know, it's like can't be the way it used to be. You know what I'm saying? It's gotta go back to the basics.
Man, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun seeing Roger Goodell's basement.
And you've been saying that for weeks.
I'm just fascinated. Like, how is Roger Goodell living? Like, how's his basement? Like, that's crazy. And then, man, seeing these guys like war rooms, it got me hyped. Like, I seen Ron Rivera the other day. I was like, oh snap! Like, John Lynch's setup. I'm like, yikes. David Gettleman, which it might be going to your argument, less is more. I think all he had was like a laptop and like a big fax machine. Like
that's all you need to have.
John Lynch got
all you need to have.
John Lynch got 3 phones. I want to say like 4 or 5 screens. I think Ron Rivera is somewhat similar, but Dave Gettleman, I'm like, dude, it's like. I'm like, man, where your phones at? Because you know you have to, you need about 3 phones because you have to call.
You need 3 phones. I would get a projector. With a sheet in the back or something like that that's connected to my laptop or something, and that's it. I'm telling you, you got to keep it basic. And I'm telling you, I learned that from over this weekend watching that music battle, where less is more. And it'll come as smooth. It's gonna go try to be as smooth as it can be, but it may crash. It's because a lot of these systems aren't as big and built for everybody to be doing the same thing at the same time. It's weird.
And what's gonna be crazy because it's kind of like it's, and I see the screens because in the same token, because you gotta meet with your personnel on one screen. You kind of need to follow the draft on one. And it's weird, like, how they're going to do it. And then you're probably going to be in interviewing with, like, ESPN. So it's going to be, in, other networks. So it's going to be crazy how all that is going to kind of come together. I mean, I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be a fun night. Mm-hmm. And then seeing the guys, seeing the guys, and that's crazy how the NFL gave them like equipment and they're like their own like producer. So I thought that was really cool. Well, I think they gave like the top 15 prospects. They have like their setups already and stuff. So I was like, that's pretty cool. And it's just funny because, and it's so weird like how we went from, because remember like in Nashville last year how that was like just a huge party, like it's crazy, like. And like people say that was like, it's literally like an NFL festival, and it's crazy, like. And then see the prospects, dapping up Roger Goodell, which I always thought that was like cool, another cool moment. But I mean, I'm gonna enjoy this. I think it's gonna be fun. Seeing the guys, seeing these, these GMs, war rooms, got me so excited. Like I was like, man, this is pretty cool. Like, and then we'll be able to kind of. Be able to, have a front row seat to it. So I thought that's going to be really cool.
It's going to be interesting. It's new. What you think, Chip?
Oh, I'm intrigued now because you said that they gave out like their own setup to some of the prospects?
Yeah, so they gave them pretty much like a production kit. So essentially they'll get I think they got like a laptop. You know how they do the lights, the little circle thing. Like when people do their YouTube videos, they have that light, that circular light. They got that, and pretty much like hookups, like basically. So they're like their own producer. And I think that's just so cool.
So what if you
think about it? Hey, the whole world gonna see it. I mean, just imagine if Aaron Rodgers had it. The equipment would have been broke. Because, I mean, he thought he was the number 1 pick, and he got the, 24th. And then who had the next pick after that? The damn Redskins. I was like, oh, my God. We were like 1 pick away from getting like Aaron Rodgers. Like, really?
Didn't y'all have RG3?
No, this is 2005.
I'm messing with you.
Yeah, it's 2005. That boy probably like in middle school, if that. But that's crazy though. But I was like, yeah, they're gonna have. If they drop, you're right, Dag. If they drop, it might not be pretty, but it'd be funny. It'd be intriguing though. It'd be like Brady Quinn. You remember Brady Quinn?
Yeah.
It'd be like Brady Quinn who dropped. And it was another thing. Another thing about the draft, I think I forgot to mention about the virtual. Well, yeah, we talked about So yeah, man, that's what's gonna and it's gonna be just weird because it's all kind of, and it's when it had all the networks some kind of do their thing. Because you think about it, all of it is really split screen. You know, because everybody could be in different spots. It's gonna be interesting, and I think Detroit, their head of IP is going to be in a Winnebago, like manning the whole command. Like, he's going to be there the whole 3 days in a Winnebago. Like, this is cool. Like, I'm like, man, this is going to be so interesting.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, man.
He's spying on everybody else.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Right. And you think about it, he is, Detroit. You got Matt Patricia. Is he like an offspring of Bill Belichick? He better not be hacking in no matter war room. But yeah. So the prospect that you're rooting for, it don't have to be because he's the best player, blah blah blah, but just for a guy that you're rooting for. Chip, you go first.
I'm gonna say Bryce Hall.
Yes, good choice.
I think big time player. I think the injuries kind of took the first round out of him, like out of contention. But I think whoever picks him in whatever round is gonna get a good player.
Yeah. Who you got, Maui?
I don't know, man. Like I think I'm gonna keep it local. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go Dale Taylor for Tennessee. I'm hoping that, that's all I'm rooting for, man. I hope he get there, man. He had I think that we haven't even seen the best of him just yet. I hope he find him a coach that can really bring it out of him. You know what I mean? And I don't know if it's Chip. Do you know it's Tobias? You know Tobias Taylor? Do you know of him?
Yeah.
He plays. Is he going in?
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm pulling for them too. They cousins. I'm pulling for them too. But
nice.
I'm gonna say this, man. On the other level, I'm hoping Chase Young, because since what I'm saying, my homeboy on the other side is, I guess he hoping he get him. So I'm gonna pull for him also.
Yeah. And it's funny that you mentioned Darryl Taylor. So definitely shout out to one of our homeboys, Servan, who he came onto our CoachCoachLive Sunday sit down, and we talked about, he did a write up on it. He's a blogger for Last Word on the NFL, and he projected Darryl to be about a 5th or 6th round pick, and he thinks that, and he took a shot in the dark, blah. And he said that he think he's going to the Patriots. So like that would be perfect.
Well, I heard Cowboys.
Ugh. He'll be better. Go to New England.
I'll take him.
Please let him go. I don't want him to go to the Patriots. I feel, you know what I mean, that might be just a little bit too much of a machine. I think he, but I'm just holding. I want him to go to the league. He's too big. To me, more than that, he's too big of a guy. I don't want him running frozen at Food Line. I really hope he, living his dream, playing some type of professional sport.
But yeah, So I got two guys. And I guess I'll keep it local on my end too. Kavon Wallace. Definitely hoping he does his thing. Of course, a fellow Springer. And of course, with Kai Becton. And then a guy who I was really, really fascinated back in his high school days, Jalen Elliott.
Yeah.
A lot of people. y'all thought he would. Everybody slept on him, but he went down to Indiana and balled out, and hopefully we see his name called probably maybe Saturday, probably more likely on Saturday. That'd be a good situation for him, and Jalen Elliott. I mean, he was one of those guys, and I remember when he got recruited, he went to Notre Dame. I was like, wow, that's huge. And like he said, I heard him a couple times. He got interviewed by Jim Rome, and I just like how the fact he said, this, it's a great opportunity for him because there's a lot of guys from Richmond don't, get this opportunity, and I totally agree with it. And it's just, I mean, hey, Jalen Elliott, man, used to be the thorn in the Springer's side many years ago, and he, and balling now and doing his thing, man.
Mm-hmm. All right. That's what's up.
Yep. So best player in this year's draft, in your personal opinion. Maui, you go first.
Chase Young.
Chase Young, yeah.
Right. Y'all probably know more than me. I just asked a few people, you know what I'm saying, and my brother Old State, so he's like, Chase Young.
Yeah.
What about you?
Chip.
I'm gonna say Chase Young too.
Yeah. It'll be a consensus of Chase Young on my end too, but I think it was a 1A, which is surprisingly Isaiah Simmons. I really like Isaiah Simmons, and maybe because I've seen him a little bit more. I guess we're just being, as far as catching AC, of course, more so like watching ACC games. That's like someone in my wheelhouse in a sense. And just seeing him play, he's literally like a Swiss Army knife on defense. Like he's played like every position at Clemson, like defensively.
Okay.
And it just amazes me. Yeah.
So I mean, because I put him. I mean, you're gonna ask me, and I put him for another category that you said too, from what I've looked out, and it goes for what we was talking about like a couple years ago, where they say if he just because he needs to move around, but can he be and play for the Patriots? Where they say no, I need for you to play linebacker, or I need for you to play this position. Play this position. I don't need for you to go anywhere else. Can he do it? They said, that's his itch. That's where he struggles.
Well, a part of me think he can. I mean, because he played like safety once upon a time. He played linebacker. I think with the right coaching, and I think, and that's what I'm saying. I mean, and plus he's had probably like one of the best defensive coaches in the league. Well, not the league, but as far as in college. Yeah. And to me, I think he's a plug-and-play guy. You can put him anywhere where you want, and I think he's going to do his thing.
Yeah, definitely. I think he's a safety.
Yeah.
I got him at for the most overrated player. I put him because I was looking at the remarks that the people were saying that, and I was like, that goes with me as I've grown up. And I know you hadn't asked. I'm sorry, Coach, but I know as I've grown up, I could do a million things. But then as you get more mature, you say, okay, I need to just deal with my responsibility because other people are getting paid to do their responsibility. You know what I mean? Now, I could turn it up if I needed to, but, would that mess up the chemistry of the defense? I mean, I'm really just asking, you know what I mean? I'm asking you, Chip, would that mess up the chemistry to have a guy that can go everywhere? Or do you think the quarterback could play off of that? Because he don't know how to just do his one position. He always be out of position.
In his case, I think it benefits him more than it hurts him. And just because of how the league is now, the safety, the way he plays, he's basically a linebacker most of the time anyway.
Okay.
So I think it benefits him.
So do you think that they put those remarks? They put those remarks out there just for people to make his stock go down,
or to do it in a way that makes a team that views him one way, another team that may view him another way may trade up to get him based on the way they feel, you know?
Oh,
or
okay.
because they don't want to miss out on him.
Okay.
Because there might be a need for that team.
Okay. Yeah, I take him. If he play like that, I'd love to have him on my defense. Pittsburgh Steelers.
But yeah, that's one thing with him, and I just hope I'm on the verge of praying like the Giants don't get him at 4. I don't want to see that, man. 2 times a year. I sincerely don't. No. Like, I don't. So, most overrated. Who you guys think most overrated? Chip? Who you got?
Most overrated? I think, I know this might sound crazy, but I think Henry Ruggs. I think he's super, super fast. You know, I think he's not the best catcher, but he don't have a drop problem. But I'm worried about him like going across the middle. And just being effective in between the hashes. I don't know if he'll be able to take all those hits. Because he didn't really see it like that in college because obviously there's more space out there and he was just faster than everybody. But when he gets to the NFL, even though he's fast, it's going to be a lot faster.
Right. Interesting. And you know what's so funny with him? I think he's going to have the biggest rise of this draft. I know it's going to sound crazy, because a lot of people having him like in that 11 to the Jets. I can literally see him going 9 to Jacksonville, especially after what happened with Marquise Lee the other day. And I'm like, wouldn't that be something? Like he might be a top 10 pick. Like literally.
I mean, you want the speed for sure.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Yeah, because he might have the biggest rise out of all of them as far as, because it's funny because a lot of them. And I think once he gets at 9, that's when the wide receiver floodgate is going to open. And that's why a lot of it, too, is going to be really tricky, because he's going to be the first domino that's going to fall. And then almost kind of piggyback to your point about Isaiah Simmons, where people are going to start getting desperate. It's going to start becoming, they're going to get like a cluster around that, about 9 to about 14, 15. Because I think those guys might, between like him, CeeDee Lamb, we talked about the other, Jared Jeudy. Those guys, I think they're going to be in the slot in that little cluster. And I think the teams are going to get desperate. Because once one fall, all of them are going to fall. Once the first domino drop, that's when it's like the floodgates, and they're going to be like hurting and try to get one of those receivers. But Justin Herbert. Like, and we talked about this before, we got on air. It's crazy to think with Justin Herbert. So if we would have sat here last year and say who was going to be the number 1 pick in the 2020 draft, a lot of people was going to say Justin Herbert. And then he played the season. They're like, oh, no way he would have been a first-round pick. He would have been, he struggled against, certain days. Even though he had some pretty good games against some decent competition. He did all right against Auburn. I give him that credit. But they did play Auburn. But anyway, then he gets to the Senior Bowl, and it's just like everybody get caught up. Oh man, he's back in first round draft pick. I'm like, huh? Like one game essentially put him back to this. He has a problem. I mean, I think to me, he has a problem with accuracy. And I looked at a little bit. I did a tell the tape, Chip. Shout out to you, Chip. So I did a tape on him, and you look at him, it's like, all right, you seen one of the plays, like he looked at his check down, and like completely missed it, like by like a mile. Then he throws over the top. So I forgot what formation it was in. So he had a safety coming like from the middle, and then he had like a free lane to like throw to receive a deep. I mean under route. Missed him. I'm like, what? Like somebody about to lose their job if they get him.
What school did he play for?
Lose their job. He went to Oregon.
They're never good. Man. None of their quarterbacks.
Thank you.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's another thing that bothers me, man. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, but I mean, yeah, because you think about Joey Harrington, Marcus Mariota. God, who else was the part that it's been one before Mariota. I mean, after Mariota too, right? I think I'm missing somebody.
Dennis Dixon was a bust too.
Oh yeah. I forgot about him. And then Achilles Smith was Oregon. Didn't he go to Oregon?
Say the name again?
Achilles Smith. Remember he went to the Bengals? I think he went to Oregon.
I thought he went to Clemson. I don't know why, but I don't know.
Yeah, he went. I think he went to he went. Achilles Smith went to Oregon. I think. I'm about to do a quick Google search on that one, but I could have. Yeah, I think he went. That's crazy.
Yeah,
but I was like, that's wow.
Oh.
And like the thing with him, Justin Herbert is one of those guys. Like if he has that look, like he looks like fundamentally sound. Like if you don't see the progression of his throw, you're like, damn, he's pretty good. He's okay. He's inconsistently mechanic. He's mechanically inconsistent, if that's a word.
Mm-hmm.
Which that might be the name of the podcast tonight. Mechanically inconsistent. But a part of me, because like it's weird. Like you'll see him throw in one motion, then the next you'll see, and it's like there's really no consistency. Which with coaching that you may overcome that. But it's just a part of you, like, yeah.
I was gonna say, isn't it crazy that the traits that you're naming about him is somebody that they're talking about picking with the 5th overall pick? Yeah, this guys at smaller schools that have put up better numbers, or at bigger schools and put up the same amount of numbers, but they're getting lesser grades.
Right. And I swear, it's something about that damn Senior Bowl. This is like, it always happens every year. We always get a guy who you're like, okay, then all of a sudden he has this amazing Senior Bowl performance, and it's like it catapults him to like to heights. So you're like, how? Like, what do y'all see?
I did just Google him, and I wanted to know. So in this draft, they said that this is probably a draft for more wide receivers, right?
Mhm.
Right. Okay. So I hate doing that, but it just seemed like to me I've been seeing all this information Tua, then Justin, right? And I don't even hear them really talking about Justin like that, but they just keep talking about Tua. And now you're telling me that this guy come out of nowhere. He was, last year he was a certain way, and now you just seen him and he's horrible. And now they're talking. You know what I'm saying? Like he had the chance to be the number 1 draft pick.
Oh well, no,
Is that what you're saying?
Well, last year they were saying that he could be potentially a number 1 pick, and then as the season progressed, they were like, well, no, he may not even be a first-round pick. But all of it is in its essence, and that's one thing too. Like Joe Burrow Joe Burrow came out of nowhere. He's gonna be the number 1 pick. Like he was supposed to be. He was gonna be an undrafted free agent. Literally, like maybe 6th or 7th, if that. Like getting him in the 6th or 7th round was a reach. Even last year, I mean, he wasn't even on the radar last year. Like maybe like September, October. That's when they like, okay, yeah, he might be a 6th or 7th round pick. And he's gonna be the number 1 pick in this draft. Like barring anything disastrous.
Bald,
and the same thing with Tua. Oh yeah. But I'm just saying, like how like it's crazy, like the projection. Like it's fun. Like if we sat here last year, we'd have been like, "Who the hell is Joe Burrow?" Like, was he like Dwayne Haskins' backup? Like literally. So you're like, okay, and then they're just saying like it's just crazy how like it gets fickle. And because I don't know if you remember this, Chip, because they were saying even if Justin Herbert came out last year, he would have been a 1st round pick. You remember when people were saying that?
Well, yep. And it's crazy they won't talk about the guy who was in national championships. They say he's a 3rd or 4th round pick.
Right. And it goes like, and then to be honest with you, with Tua, like what's crazy? Like I like Tua, but in the same token, I'm like, I've never heard of a guy that was supposed to be the projected number 1 pick, breaks his hip, fracture his hip, like who has had he's had 2 major surgeries within a 4-week period. Like he had the ankle injury in October, the 3rd week in October. Then he breaks his hip the week before Thanksgiving. And his draft stock only drops maybe 5 or 6 spots, if that. It's crazy.
And
this year's so fickle.
He's getting a lot of TV time. He's getting a lot of TV time and commercials. And we were saying the same thing. A lot of people I was talking to, they was like, I ain't never seen this before. This dude done got hurt a few times, and they sure is trying to keep him up there. You know what I mean? He done got hurt a lot.
Huh?
I said, ain't got a shoe deal.
Right.
Ain't got a shoe deal. A lot of commercials. I told my dad, I said, oh, my God, they putting all this. Now, he done got all this stuff. I said, I know Baker Mayfield is like, thank you, God. Now they're not going to be paying attention to me. You know what I'm saying? But they're going to be. He's like, woo. They're going to be focusing on him. Because they gave him, you know what I'm saying? He got all of that. They're going to be focused on him, B. I'm telling you. Because now they're not even saying he's going to be in the top 4. He done dropped, right?
Who, Tua?
Yeah.
That's what they say. But in all honesty, which I think I'm going to do a mock, I found a mock tomorrow, I still think he's going 3rd. But it ain't Detroit.
Right.
But I think he's going 3rd. And yeah. Oh, there you go. We'll talk about that a little later. So, who you think so we talked about overrated. So the player that's likely gonna drop that you think as far as projection wise?
I said Tua.
Tua. You got Chip.
I'm gonna say T. Higgins.
Oh yeah. You think 2nd round? Second round?
Cause I think probably mid 2nd round.
Yeah. Yeah, T. Higgins is solid.
Who did he say again?
You said T. Higgins, right?
Mm-hmm.
From Clemson. The wide receiver from Clemson, T. Higgins.
Okay. Okay. Oh, have.
What's gonna be funny? And I hope I'm wrong. I have a strange feeling. I don't even want to say it's a premonition. I see Mekhi Becton in a sense dropping, but not like you would think. Not like a Laramie Tunstall drop. But because I remember seeing him initially being like the 4th pick, to the Giants. This is probably maybe right after the season, right after we really found out the draft order. Then the combine happened 4 weeks later. After that, he's still kind of bubbling. And I think I had him as going I had him going 6 to L.A. to the Chargers, which that's going to be a different story. A part of me is if he's probably going to go between 9 and 14. Either Jacksonville. I thought about Jacksonville. I thought about Cleveland. Then I thought about Tampa Bay at 14. It is weird. I have that feeling even though which and I'm kind of I wouldn't say I'm upset, but it's I just realized the whole thing about the diluted drug test. I'm thinking to myself, why does that matter if we're not, in essence, it's not going to go against him in the league. They're not testing guys for that anymore. So why are we bringing this stuff up? And like you said, and it goes back to what you were saying a little earlier, Chip, the innuendos, the smoke screens that they're trying to put so people can be you know what? Because, these reports are coming from somewhere. And it's a team that's going to probably – you're looking at some of those teams where I kind of mentioned. I'm not saying that they bought that news up, but a part of me is it's really inconvenient. It's really the timing of it. The weekend before the draft, this comes out. He never fails a drug test at Louisville whatsoever. And his coach on drugs. Now, let me start talking about Bobby Petrino. But his coach couldn't even pass one. But if he can pass one, you know what I'm saying? But just, I'm this, and that's one of the things where it's they're doing this to fall for him. And it's because he's going to fall in somebody's lap, and they're going to be we got him here? He's still around? Bet. Let's get him.
Right. But that's new. They're going to have to stop. When somebody bring that up, say, you know what? They don't even test for that anymore, so you need to leave that alone. You know what I mean? Yeah. Somebody's going to have to start saying that because that shouldn't be against his character. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that doesn't make you a bad person, too, if you –
oh, no.
If you've done something like that. So what does that have to – come on. But, yeah, they're going to judge based upon that. You know what I mean? So they can drop down just in case. Or it's like going to a club, right? You go there all the time. Then all of a sudden, out the blue, you wear the same stuff, right? And you're not wearing the regular Timberland combat. You got the Timberland shoes, right? And they were oh, those Timberlands? You're yeah, I wear these all the time. Well, you're not allowed to wear Timberland. You see what I'm saying? So it almost gives them an excuse to say, okay, well, he dropped. Well, why did he drop? Well, this, and that, and he failed the drug test. Now, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
just give them some type of give them some reason to justify the decision or why that person dropped. Just like with your quarterback, you know what I mean? That y'all drafted last year that got they had to make an excuse of why they actually brung him down. You know what I mean? Why he wasn't drafted earlier. You know what I'm saying? And everybody was man, but he did so well, blah, 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 Anyway.
And that was another one. And that it shows you, and you make up a great point. Dwayne Haskins was supposed to be what? Number 2 behind Kyler Murray? And he dropped to 15. That's why it's funny, it's just a fickle market. Then another guy who I think could possibly drop, but it's all going to come together. Jeff Okudah. I'm going to be honest with you, because Detroit is going to find a trade partner, and they'll be able to get him. Because we always had him slotted at 3. He might drop 3 spots, maybe 2, but that's another one where I think is going to be fascinating. And then I seen one with Isaiah Simmons. I seen a mock draft him today. They got him going 10 to Cleveland. I'm like, what? Wow. What did I miss? What did I miss in the last 2 days? 10th?
Wow. I don't see him making it past.
Hell no, me neither. Because that to me, I think he don't even get past Carolina. Because even though I know they really bullish on Derek Brown, but I don't even see him going because Carolina got they 7th. I can't even see him going that even that low. But I was like 10th. I was like, shoot. All right, I'm like, we'll see. But that's gonna be interesting. So let's see the next one. The QB is going to have the biggest impact next season.
What did I put? You said QB. I passed. I didn't put nothing down for that one.
Chill.
Rookie quarterbacks, right?
Yeah, rookie quarterback. Oh, yeah, no doubt. Not Dak.
I'm going Jalen Hurts.
That's interesting. Jalen Hurts.
I'm going Jalen Hurts, man. I think he played in the national championship, almost won the Heisman at another school. Like, I just think it's too much. He got too much winning in him not to be on the field. This, like, the same things that people said about Lamar, and I know Lamar is, like, I guess, an anomaly now, but
yeah.
I still think that they still possess the same traits as he did when he was coming out. So I feel like if you just take a chance, put him in the right situation, hey, make play.
And that's why it trips me out, and I'm kind of glad you brought that up. And kind of to go back to the quarterback thing, and this how fickle it is. So you mean to tell me if Baker Mayfield was the number 1 pick, Kyler Murray was the number 1 pick, Jalen Hurts put up just as much? I think he put up better numbers than them, if my memory serves correct, or it might be like even. But he put up big numbers and got invited to New York, just like them. Has won a national championship. Literally. Like, he's won a national championship. He's won the SEC championship. Like, and he's not a first-round pick? I just think that's interesting. He comes from the same system as Kyler Murray and Baker. They're number 1 picks. Even though they both won Heisman's, but to be honest with you, if it weren't for Joe Burrow having that season, he would have been the Heisman. To be honest with you. Joe Burrow just had a once-in-a-lifetime season. But the quarterback I think that's going to have the biggest impact, as I mentioned a little earlier, Joe Burrow. I think he's going to be the one, because I don't see Tua's going. I don't think they're going to start Tua. I think if I'm a GM, I know this. If I'm a Jerry Krause, I'm sending him out. There's no way I'm going to let a guy who just had major hip surgery the Monday before Thanksgiving on playing for my team. I'm just not going to do it. If I'm a GM, I don't feel comfortable putting a guy in after that horrific injury. Justin Herbert, it depends on where he goes, but I can see Joe Burrow, because I think Cincinnati's going to win a little bit more games. So, I think it's going to be him. Non-quarterback. Yeah. I'm a bet.
Oh, did Joe Burrow really wow you, or did he just benefit from having really good weapons and a really good defense?
And then he had a good quarterback coach. And that's the thing, you think about it. Because before Joe Brady got there, he struggled. No doubt. He struggled. He couldn't get on the field at Ohio State. And I'm not, and that's why part of you got to think to yourself, like, how this all works out. He's in the same quarterback room with J.T. Barrett, same room as he was even Dwayne Haskins backup. And you think about he came in as a sophomore and played.
Yep.
So it's just like,
how good is he?
Yeah. Huh?
I said, it's like, how good is he, right? Like,
right. And I do like Zach Taylor. I think Zach Taylor is like one of those kind of new age, innovative head coaches. So I think he can get something out of him.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
So you really don't think they're gonna put Tua on the bench?
If I am,
I believe.
I would.
I think they've given him too much right now. I would too. Yeah. But I think he got the shoe deal and all this stuff, right? Whatever team he go to, if that quarterback messes up, the fans, if they giving him so much promotion, and I think when they do that to those type of quarterbacks, you know what I mean? They'll just, I don't know where he gonna go. Watch it probably be like the Chargers or some crazy shit.
I'm gonna be just like Jerry Krause did after Jordan broke his foot. It could be a 10% chance that you might re-injure it in. Would you take 10 pills and one of them don't work? Essentially, and in his case, it's a whole lot similar to like the Jordan situation. But in my token, if I'm a GM, and because you got to think about it, if I get Tua, if I get him in danger, like especially the first year, whatever, I'm canned. Like I'm done. Like I'm done in this town. I'm done in Roger Goodell's town for a while. I can't screw this up. If I'm Buffalo, not Buffalo, if I'm Miami, or if I'm like the Chargers, I can't mess this up. This kid, especially if I'm the Chargers, if I'm getting him, I'm in a brand new stadium. I got probably the best looking jerseys in the league at this point, as they just released today. I gotta put butts in seats. I couldn't even fill a soccer stadium of people when Phillip Rivers was there. He's my product. He's gonna put butts in seats. I cannot let this guy who just had hip surgery Monday before Thanksgiving, I cannot let this kid out here this time.
But
I want my job.
You know these stories though, man.
No doubt.
You said they got to put butts in the seats. And I'm telling you, if they sitting there and they losing, or let's say this, let's say they getting blown out and they sit whatever quarterback but they don't have one, so, or you know what I mean. So whatever quarterback they got, he's on the bench. Huh? Oh my bad. They got. Okay, cool. So he's been through this shit before. So you know what I mean. So, we've seen this story before. Like you know what I mean. So. I ain't knocking Tyra. I think he okay. I think he should have been starting with the Browns at that time. But he's been there before. Okay, this dude coming into the Chargers. They getting blown out by 28 or something like that. Tyra get hit, or they just take him out the game, and then they put Tua in, Tua bring him back. What do you think gonna happen? I would see sit him down.
Oh yeah, he would lose his job. That's almost similar to how he lost his job to Baker. He got a concussion on Thursday night and. That was it.
And see, let's say like Tua come in and it's 28-21 or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Then those conversations, the media, those conversations started happening. Like, man, you know, especially by Taylor, you know, Tyrod being there. The question mark has got to be, you know, he's not drafted yet. But you understand what I'm saying? We've seen this story before. Like, come on.
Yeah.
You know, but I hear what you're saying. I wouldn't either. But if they already giving him a shoe deal, he getting all this TV time. Come on, man. They want him playing. Clearly.
He playing 20. Yeah. I know if I'm the GM, he playing in 2021. I need to make it at least through Christmas. At least I need to make it through. Because this could be one of the.
This could be one of the. You got to make it past Thanksgiving.
Really? You had to.
Thanksgiving. Oh my goodness.
You can.
What you think, Chip? Chip, what you think? You think they gonna try to rush him on the field?
I say, oh, for sure. For sure. Somebody's going to bring him in to be day one starter.
It's designed. Like, and that's, I guess that's something we need to pay attention to. Like, you said he got a shoe deal, and somebody close to me was just saying, I ain't never seen a player who got hurt and getting all this TV time, getting commercials and everything. And I thought to myself, damn, that sounds like Baker Mayfield. That's what I said to myself. You know what I mean? And I was like, well, hey, now all the pressure going to be on Tua. It ain't going to be on Baker. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
But
crazy.
You're right, though. They shouldn't start it, but they are.
Yeah. So non-quarterback who's going to have the biggest impact on their team next year?
I put Chase Young.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going with Derek Brown.
Ooh, yeah. That's a good one. Especially where he goes. Yeah. It's funny because I put Derek Brown and I also put Chase Young. Because it's gonna be a battle. It's gonna be a battle between those two. Because I'm thinking I had Derek Brown going maybe to like Carolina. He'll be a guy that's plug and play there. Chase Young. And we need Chase Young because we got Chase down Ezekiel Elliott. The battle of the mid shirts, of the midriff shirts, going at it. So, may the best midriff win, Chip.
The best. Please don't say that with us.
Silly, man.
Hey, man, who wore it better, Chase or Ezekiel?
It must be our house thing.
I know, right? It's got to be them because they're the only ones who do it. I'm like, what? Who created this fad? Who? I know this is from the '80s, but I'm like, don't bring that back. But So, what team do you think will make a head scratching move in the draft?
Like we don't know.
Mm-hmm. Who you got?
Patriots.
Patriots, okay.
Yeah.
Chill.
The Bengals.
So all this is gonna come. It's gonna come in for a full circle. The LA Chargers. I really think, and the team that's really kind of playing this well, the Miami Dolphins. To be honest with you, I don't think the Miami Dolphins even want Tua. Because to me, you're going to bring up this whole thing about – because remember they had a story the other day saying that they try to fly Tua in before the travel restrictions.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, why is that coming up like 6 weeks later? I'm like, so what y'all trying to say, oh, we want Tua? So, of course, the Chargers probably like, oh, they probably going to get him at 5. We got to trade up. And plus the Giants, they go to Giants and the Lions were like, oh, yeah, we're willing to trade out of that pick. There's a sucker born. There's a sucker born every day. And I think the LA Chargers are about to get bait. Yeah, but they about to get double charged on the OnlyFans site with this one. Because to me, I see them moving at 3 and trading with Detroit and to get Tua. I just see it.
Yeah.
Because to me, in Miami, I think they probably will get Justin Herbert, and I think they want him all along. That's why it's so weird. Like, you think about now, it's like you really don't because we've always coined the phrase, suck for Tua or, tanking for Tua. That's what the Miami Dolphins was known for all last season. We all think in our mind like, oh, yeah, man, he's destined to go to Miami. Not so fast. I don't even think they was really interested in him from the start. And then you're going to put out this smoke screen like, oh, yeah, man, we was about to break NFL rules to fly him into Miami. Why? Why bring that up?
I also think they didn't expect to win as many games this year either. I think
That's
Fitzpatrick kind of pissed them off.
Yeah. But they're in a perfect spot.
Yeah.
Man, I didn't even know that. So how many picks do they have?
What? Like all together?
Yeah, the Dolphins.
Right.
At 12? Is it 12?
Woo! And they about to.
Because they got 3 first rounds.
And like
yeah, 3 first rounds.
But they got one. Didn't they get one from the Steelers when they got Fitzpatrick?
Yep. Well, that's what, the 18th? What pick was that? What pick they got for the Steelers? Was it 17th or 18th? 18th, yeah, it was 18th. And then...
Yeah, they about to make some moves.
And then they got, 23rd, because that's Houston. That's at Laramie Tunstall and what's his face? Who else? And who else went with him? Devin Stills, right? Did Devin Stills go with him? Yeah, he went with him and Larry Tunstall went to Houston for that pick. But yeah, I see the Chargers getting desperate and going forward.
Definitely,
I feel for them. Yeah, because it's like the perfect storm. It's the perfect storm for somebody getting got in this draft. Perfect. I know, right? Tyrod.
I got a question.
Yeah.
Do Tua got any family members that played in the league?
No, he got a brother that played for Alabama though.
Oh, okay. You got to start asking those type of questions, man, because it seemed like, the ones who have family members that played in the league seem to get some, because you just said that this dude broke his hip last year, and they still gonna kind of have him in the first round, you know what I mean? That's crazy, and he got the shoe deal and this and that, and you know what I mean? I'm like, you would think his stock dropped a little bit, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, but I mean, because people were, I'm telling you,
seriously dropped.
When that happened, and guess where it happened at, Maui? It happened at Mississippi State, at all places. So when that happened that Saturday, everybody was like, "Oh man, I don't think he's ever gonna play again." I was looking at YouTube videos of doctors talk about it's almost they don't even know if he ever play again. People was even comparing his hip injury to Bo Jackson.
Wow.
They don't even know if his nerves are going to regenerate. I mean, it was that bad initially. That first night. Then he had really successful surgery, and he healed pretty well because I remember I seen him New Year's Day. I was like, damn, he walking pretty good for just to have major hip surgery. I mean, that was January 1st when they played. They played Michigan on New Year's Day. And I was like, dang, he's walking pretty good. I think he still had a little cane, but I mean, to me that was still impressive. Because I mean, he was a month and maybe 6 weeks removed from that.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's a trip. All right, so let's put a bow on this week's Couch Coach Live, fellas. Who gets this game ball? We're going to go around the horn. Who you got, Chip?
I'm giving it to Tyrod Taylor.
Sorry.
He got to be a bridge quarterback everywhere he go, man. It's tough.
I know, right? Okay.
Is that
it is, man. I do be feeling
bad. He sound like somebody's auntie. Oh, damn. Postang.
It's true, though, man. Sad, man.
That's so wrong. Look, I wasn't trying to disrespect him. I was just saying, you know what I mean? He should be looking okay, let's go ahead. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
go ahead and have his exit rally. You know what I'm saying? Hey, he stays steadfast. Look at Teddy Bridgewater. You know what I'm saying? I mean, wow. So
yeah,
that's so crazy. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. That's so funny. Yeah.
Who you got, Maui?
I got two. One is for somewhat sports, and one is not. But I'm giving the gay ball to my bro. You know what I'm saying? Like he's had two of the hardest senior years I've ever seen. The high school senior year, the year before it started, so going up against he beat Petersburg in the playoffs. First time it happened in years for Hopewell. Then he played his homeboys who won the state, which was George Wythe. They all was on the same AAU team. They lost. A week later, he came down on his foot for having a real aggressive practice. Eventually got bone marrow disease from being drilled, his foot being drilled in. It burnt the inside of his foot because the guy was trying to put a screw in. And then his whole senior year, he didn't even, he in the house. They called him, he had a scooter, but they called him Coach Zay. And he learned that his passion was actually coaching. When they graduated, he was able to walk. He hadn't walked all year. But it's just the circumstances of his senior year. You know what I'm saying? Like, they did make it to the Siegel Center and to the last 14. Hopewell did. But you know what I mean? Not to be able to play with him, but he was able to coach him. That opportunity has led for him to go to ODU, where he had one made legendary coach. I don't know her name, but then he eventually got Nikki McCray, and she turned the team around. They actually was doing well. Would have got an NCAA bid, was second in the conference. And she actually got a new job, which we know from last week, which is Mississippi State. And I just found out he's actually going to be going with her, and he's going to get a scholarship, and he's going to be like a graduate assistant. So he's found his passion, and he's still moving forward with that. And I'm really want to give him the game ball for that. The other one is non-sports, which I had an exciting weekend. I'm a music buff, so I got to see Teddy Riley and Babyface battle. It started so much comedy all weekend, but with everything that's going on, dealing with technology, they did it yesterday, and it's still some technical difficulties. But it turned out almost 500,000 views, and they basically shut down IG. You know what I mean? Like, this is crazy. It was great, man. Hearing all those music, hearing the stories, and then being able to be a part of that was a great feeling. So this draft that we're about to have is going to be great because it might be something new to come, and we get a chance to be a part of it. You know what I mean? But anyway, so that's why I give the game ball to.
Yeah. So my game ball goes to Megan Walker, the former Monacan standout, former UConn guard. Got drafted number 9 overall in the WNBA draft. She's taking her talents to Brooklyn for the New York Liberty. So definitely a huge shout out to her. She should be with Sabrina. I forget. I keep on messing up her last name. I feel so bad for doing this. Sabrina from Oregon. Sabrina Asenik. What's her last name, Chip?
I can't pronounce it, bro.
Oh gosh, you give me an assist, Chip. Yeah, Sabrina Asenik. But she'll be going to Brooklyn for playing for the New York Liberty. It's definitely a huge shout out to Megan Walker.
Too.
Yeah, man.
Balling, B. He almost gave her the game ball too, because I was watching her while I was writing everything down. She be balling, bro.
Yeah.
That's the shot.
I think I only seen her one time play. And I'm like, man, I could have, I think I seen her play one time, and that was like in a playoff game, like probably 6-7 years ago, a long time ago. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, definitely a huge shout out to her. Final thoughts, fellas.
Oh man, for me, I'm just happy to have all three of us doing this again. You know what I'm saying? Hearing Chip pick up the pieces. You know what I'm saying? He got a great sports, but definitely football IQ. You know what I mean? Hey man, I didn't ask you how you been dealing with this, with the virus and everything. This the quarantine and the social distancing. How have you been doing with
it? Appreciate it, man. It's kind of regular for me, bro. It's kind of regular.
Right. I'm laughing because that's what we say. This is our life. You know, like
every day.
Right. It's hilarious. I'm like, damn, everybody understand what I go through now.
Getting boring, bro. It's every day, so I guess.
You said it's boring?
Yeah, it's getting there now. Now I'm like, all right, I think I've kind of seen everything I want to see on Netflix.
Man, it be like that though, man.
Yeah. Some good games, man. I've been trying to, like, put some stuff on, like, Facebook and stuff. You know what I mean? Try to tell some history fights, some history games. Because I said they got the catalog. You know what I mean? It's like, for instance, like you said, you ain't know nothing a lot about the Bulls, man. Like, there's some great games. Like the year they won 72 games, the Nuggets versus them. Oh, that game was crazy. But anyway.
Wow.
Yeah, man. Another week in the books. Oh, man, you know, another good show. Yeah, man, that's my final thoughts. Follow the show on any of your favorite social media, Couch Coach Live, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. The podcast on everywhere you get podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, you name it, it's on there. I think I'm gonna throw you guys another mock draft. I might do a live one tomorrow. I'm still working out the technical difficulties. I had a little Cincinnati Bengals incident early on in the day, trying to work the kinks out of that. But hopefully I'll work out the kinks and get my war room situated and deliver this fire, the last mock draft I got. All right, guys. Where can they find you on social media? Chip?
At Harvard Dropout on Instagram and Twitter.
Maui, where they can find you, man?
DT Morgan 78 Instagram and Deshaun Morgan on Facebook.
All right. So appreciate Chip for stopping by. For Chip, Maui, and Coach, man, this is Couch Coach Live, man. We'll catch you guys next week.